Still, the Gunners remained on target, drawing against Chelsea in Europe, Majesty United in the league. On April the 3rd, their treble dreams were still alive. By April the 6th, they weren't.
Forward to find Giggs, United looking threatening here, scores! Gives United the lead! Bridge, good Johnson, this is Bridge again! 2-1! Chelsea are heading for the Champions League semis!
In 3 days, the discussion surrounding Arsenal had shifted. Instead of being the irrepressible squad going for glory, the storyline returned to the so-called chokers from 2003.
To be knocked out to Chelsea, our local rivals, who we knew we probably could beat on the day, was so disappointing.
I mean, you just don't know what to do with yourself because you're thinking the season's done. You can't. What can you do? Have we got enough energy to kind of see the season out and recover? Have we got it? You start questioning yourself. Have you got it inside you to kind of dig in? Have I got anything left in my reserves? You know, I've got quite a big reserves, but those kind of games might have taken everything out.
The season before, we had that lead and we were thinking, oh, we're going to blow it again. What the press going to say of it? You know, we are chokers, really. We blow it again because we've done it 2 years running.
Yes, I was concerned that it might happen again. Sometimes you lose absolutely everything.
And that's going through all the players' heads, for sure. That's probably going through the manager's head. Can we recover?
Yeah, you can fail. But choking, that means you didn't try. Okay, we tried to beat Chelsea, we didn't compete well, and they beat us. We tried to beat Man United. So the next thing was, beating Liverpool.
3 days after Arsenal's European exit, the wounds were still fresh when the Merseysiders arrived at Highbury.
It is the biggest test of character for the Gunners all season. They've looked invincible for so long, but cracks of weakness have suddenly been exposed, and Liverpool are the team that'll try to exploit them today.
You could just sense the crowd a little bit nervous. They was probably thinking about last season as well.
It is the first time that I felt like the stadium stopped breathing. Because obviously people were talking and whatever they were saying got into the head of the fans and everybody around.
It was nervous. We were nervous. Because, we needed to win that game. It doesn't start off too well because they scored 2 goals.
It's Gerrard Taylor! And it's a goal for Liverpool! The game warming up. Yes! Gerrard. Great ball. Owen! And how critical will that prove to be? Not just for Liverpool, but also in the title chase.
I was in the crowd at the time. We could just sense around us, we're going to blow it again. This is it. We're gone.
So I felt I needed to say something. I felt the gaffer, for the first time, Pat, really, they looked as if the stuffing had been knocked out of them a little bit. So I did ask the boss, could I say something at half-time, and he allowed me to. There's a chance to change history. Why wait until it's over to say something? While you're in there, you grasp the opportunity. I felt the team was feeling sorry for themselves a little bit. Naturally so. Reminded them how good they were. Felt if we could score the next goal, then the place would take off. Highbury would be with us, and it would be ours again. And that's effectively what happened.
One person listening that day was Thierry Henry. Far from the shy 21-year-old who'd arrived in 1999, Henry had become a leader and a superstar.
You got to believe in yourself. You got to be confident. You got to believe in what you can do. If you're not believing in yourself that you can perform and go out there and show everybody that you're the real deal, so you might as well stay at home.
That's a lovely penalty ball for Pires! 2-2. Sidestepping one, sidestepping two. That is brilliant. That is simply stunning. Genius at work. His name is Thierry Henry.
I collapsed in the second half against Chelsea, and I felt like I didn't deliver. I wasn't happy. As you know, I didn't play against United in Birmingham, so I was even more upset. I was like, hey, this game is not going to go past me without me performing.
The performance for Thierry was out of his world, really.
I don't think the Liverpool defence knew what hit him.
The special moments in our job belong to special players. They do what needs to be done in this kind of occasion. And it was certainly one of the big turning points of the season.
Henry turning his run. He's onside. Yes, it's finally there. And Thierry Henry, hat-trick hero.
I know people are saying that I turned that game around, but I didn't turn anything around. We turned it around as a team. As it happened that day, I was the guy that performed better, but we turned it around.
Did you ever doubt them? 31 games unbeaten for Arsene Wenger. 7 points clear at the top of the league table. And Arsenal still on course to make history.
With the crisis averted at Highbury, the Gunners were focused again on winning the title. A goalless draw against Newcastle was followed by another Thierry Henry masterclass against Leeds. Ironically, the team that had halted their title march 1 year earlier.
Electrifying. Electrifying.
The 5-goal thumping set up a dream scenario for Arsenal fans. 1 point at the home of their fiercest rivals, Tottenham, and the title was theirs. For Sol Campbell, White Hart Lane was a place that brought mixed emotions. A former Tottenham captain and youth product, since leaving for their North London rivals in 2001, he'd become a hate figure at his old stomping ground and would never be forgiven for crossing the Great Divide.
It's always tough for me to go to Tottenham and a place I called home, a few years ago. A lot of things were going on my mind. But I had to stay focused. I don't know how they must have felt, me coming back there.
Since Sol had arrived, there was even more on it. There was an anger in the crowd that you saw then. We were often, we couldn't get in the ground, couldn't get out of the ground. There was a lot on that match.
I had to kind of shut everything out because the game's too big. I couldn't sentimental goes out the door with me. I had to almost be kind of ruthless in a way.
It was always great to play there because people were so hostile against us and particularly against me because as a goalkeeper you're standing just 3 or 4 yards away from the fans, and I liked, or better to say I loved, these atmospheres.
What a setup. Like, you can't beat that.
Vieira for Perez.
What a goal.
What you're saying here is what we've seen all season.
Masterclass doesn't do it justice. Football from another planet.
Redknapp.
It's a super ball for Jamie Redknapp for Spurs. Leave it to the goal, Robbie Keane. If he saw it back, Halsey, he might just be given a penalty in a minute.
I didn't foul him. I mean, it looked probably for them as if I fouled him, but he came near me and I was pushing him a little bit, and all of a sudden he went down and got rewarded with a penalty. Stupid referee.
Look, Jens was always right. And that was, of course, one of the problems, because not everybody agreed with him always. And he was always ready to defend his point of view in a very loud way.
Keane deep into stoppage time. 2-2. Arsenal are the champions in amazing circumstances. The championship is won at White Hart Lane by Spurs' most bitter rivals, but it's Arsenal a bit bitter at the end.
And that was one time I really lost it with Jans in the changing rooms. I really lost it because I wanted to win.
When I came into the dressing room, I wasn't first aware that we became champions, and I was quite upset. And Saul came in behind me, and he was upset with the result, and I think with me as well. And the boss shouted at me and said, "Jens, I told you so many times to stop that."
I mean, Jens was outstanding and not having a go. But even you look at that, but, you know.
2 hours later, boss came to me and said, "Oh, Jens, sorry, I've seen it. It wasn't a foul." So, Thierry, it wasn't a foul.
With concerns over crowd trouble, the team were told not to celebrate the title on the White Hart Lane pitch should they win. But at the full-time whistle, the celebrations among Tottenham fans spurred Arsenal to revel in their success.
This will always go down in history, winning a league at White Hart Lane, 204, simple as that.
You can never get sick of hearing that, and I wish I could have sat there and celebrated until now.
I can still receive in my mind's eye the celebrations in the dressing room, the champagne hitting the ceiling. We've left our mark in that dressing room forever.
It goes without saying it was an amazing day.
Arsenal celebrated like champions, and for many, this was enough. But one man wanted more. With 4 games remaining in the season, invincibility was tantalisingly close, but agonisingly far. For a group that had climbed the mountain of the Premier League, coaxing one last effort out of his team would be Arsene Wenger's biggest challenge.
It was massively difficult because when I said to them, "Now you have won the championship, now I want you to become immortal," they looked at me like I was absolutely mad. What is he talking about, this guy? Immortal for what?
I will be honest with you, the boss at that particular moment wanted it the most. Because he did realize what it could have been, what it was going to be. We didn't.
I tried to explain to them that they don't realize what they are doing at the moment, but one day they will realize. And so they said, "We are not convinced about what you're talking about, but we will do it."